Howdy folks, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request from none other than Renee Mooberry. Renee, thank you for this gift and the request. R stands for Rutgers, Rockin' the Country, and these days Renee. And I've got a special hat for Montauk Ed too. But this gift is Dwight Yoakam. And it looks like with Jules Holland, or maybe on Jules Holland's show, I'm not quite sure. Things We Said Today. And, oh yeah, it's on the Flamulatus Cummerbund channel. I don't even know what this is. I'm going to put the link below. That name alone of the channel deserves having a link to it. And Renee said that she has loved the Beatles since she was 13. And this is a Beatles cover. Pretty sure the Beatles, not just like Lennon or McCartney or someone of that stamp. So let's find out what we've got. I'm going to have quite the inventory, quite the catalog of reactions to Dwight to send to him to prove to his people that Renee is worthy of a shout out from Dwight himself, possibly a limo being sent to have backstage passes to one of his shows. There you have it. Thank you, Renee. Here we go.
Delicious. Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be more of K.D. Lang later. Now with his band and featuring his producer, Mr. Pete Anderson on guitar. I suppose we'd call him the modern hillbilly star with a very old English Lennon and McCartney song, Mr. Dwight Yoakam, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting introduction. What do you call him, the hillbilly something? This has a very Beatles feel to it, and Dwight didn't countrify it very much at all yet. I wonder what this performance is about, because the dude who introduced Dwight said we'll be hearing more from K.D. Lang later. So I wonder if this is an award show, or, you know, it sounds like they're in the UK somewhere. You say you'll be mine, girl, till the end of time. These days, such a kind girl seems so hard to find. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, all I have to say, then we'll remember things we said today. That's a good question. I'm just a lucky guy, left to hear you say that love is love, and very fine. That is here to stay, and that's it enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. You go on and on. I would have liked to have heard pedal right there. I don't remember this song. We'll go on and on. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then you remember things we said today. I hope not on the negative side. That's his producer playing guitar. All right, that's one I could do on the 4th of July later in the day, too. That's how I'm recording this thing in the afternoon of July 4th, and I'm going to work in a little bit. Yeah, I'm going in for about 4 or 5 hours. But this is, that was rock, and that was the Beatles basically were that. But I think I've reacted to a couple of Beatles songs, or John Lennon. I think I did Imagine a while ago, just some songs that I put in the Country Heart series. I couldn't discern what he was saying in this. I don't remember the song from the Beatles. I don't know what album it was on. Yeah, obviously the country element of this song was Dwight himself. And the dude always has these jackets that are so badass cool. And I mean, he's got an allowance for his wardrobe, and maybe the allowance comes out of his own pocket. Either way, he allows himself to spend coin on his wardrobe. And that's very, very cool, that part of it. That's the performance aspect. But the song, Will We Remember What We Said Today? And that's one of those, I think about July 4th is here. People are partying, drinking. There are going to be things that are going to be said to people at some point. And you're like, well, under normal circumstances, are you going to, will we remember the good things we said to each other, which sets the tone for the type of evening they're going to have? Like, is it a romantic evening? Picture this being a song about like a first date or a fifth date or the day he's going to propose to her. Well, of course you're going to remember that. But if you already know that she accepts, you're like, oh yeah, it's going to be wonderful. And you're all happified before you get into it. I just made that word up. It's not a word, but you're happified. You're being made happy. On the other hand, if it's ominous, if it's portending bad things, of course, that you're like, oh, will we remember the horrible things we said to each other? Now, I didn't understand the context of the song because I couldn't make out what Dwight was saying. But the instrumentation itself, especially the lead guitarist, who was his producer, came on to do that lead. It wouldn't matter who was playing it, whoever was playing that. It kind of suggests there's an ominous feel to it. Something's going to go wrong or went wrong. And will we remember the things we said? And it's like, hey, the moment is here. It's kind of like a Game 7 in Stanley Cup or basketball or the football, Super Bowl, where you're like, the moment is here, decide or not. And it kind of has that feel to it, a finality. Like, we're either going to remember this and go in this direction, a happy, good, committed direction, or we're separating. And I don't mean in the context of a marriage. I mean, we're going to go our own way. I don't know, because I couldn't make out the lyrics of what Dwight was saying. And that happens, in songs where I can't make out all the lyrics that most artists are singing. I can make out a lot of them, though. Clearly, some artists, Billy Dean, for example, I can understand. John Prine, many of them I understand, not all. It's just different people have a way of speaking and singing. But very interesting choice, Renee. Very interesting. But for July 4th, since I've already done I did two patriotic songs earlier in honor of America, one of which was Neil Diamond, which itself wasn't country either. And not to say I'm branching out into non-country, because I'm not doing that. But, then it leads to the question, okay, is my commitment to the artists such that if Dwight had just done Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, I'd still do it? Or is it to the music? And it's primarily to the music. But it is interesting once in a while to see what artists are doing outside their normal vernacular or normal genre, if you will. And Leanne springs to mind too, not because of you, Renee, necessarily, but because I see her more now as an R&B singer. Like, I think that is where her heart may be. And, Sean, my girlfriend, told me that she grew up, that Leanne grew up bluegrass. Now, I haven't done anything of Leanne's bluegrass yet. But then, through her career, she's gone, country clearly. But then I see like the way she's moving and a lot of things and the way she's singing and some of the songs and the instrumentation. I'm like, I'm seeing her going into R&B. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. It could just be the song selection. But seeing Dwight do this, I wonder what the occasion was. I mean, were the Beatles being honored? If so, I really would have loved to have seen them be honored. Dwight doing like a more country, if you will, version of it. But I don't know what the Beatles' original sounded like because I don't know this song as far as I know. I get the sense that this was in honor of the Beatles. Something just tells me that, because why would Dwight be doing this? And then the mention of KD to begin with, and it was in the UK. And of course, Dwight tours the world, so it's not out of the question he'd be in the UK. But I'm going to leave this be because I think they may have been honoring them. And this was sort of, I don't want to call it like a one-off, but it was definitely a variety. It shows Dwight's range. And I would be curious to see an interview where Dwight talks about doing other types of songs, or Leanne talks about them, or Alan Jackson or George Strait, or any of these folks that might on occasion do different genres of music. Like, do you ever fantasize being a rock star? And I'm sure they all do. Like, could I do that? Not do I want to, but could I pull it off if I did, just as a personal challenge? Everybody thinks along those lines at some point, like, could I become an actor? Could I become an actress? Actresses want to be rock stars. Actors want to be rock stars. Could I do that? Most of them think they can. Most of them can't pull it off. So I wonder about jumping genres. If how often it makes them think, could they pull it off, or what Dwight's own reflection would be about doing shows like this or music like this. I just love the human interest, the human side of things. And Dwight has that in spades. He's a philosopher at heart. I have no doubt about that. And seems like a really kind dude. So Renee, thank you for our exposure to that. And happy 4th, guys. It's just, oh, wait a minute. Red, white, and blue. Perfect. All right. Have a great day, folks. See you on another video and keep rocking the country.